Let's continue with these topics. Yesterday we learned about uh, deep copy, shallow copy, and optional chaining. Now today, let's move to
Just a statement. Can you please, whatever the concepts you explained yesterday, just give some brief introduction, like because the class is not getting recorded, so whoever miss it, they can revise it. Okay,
okay,
just give a little bit of intro.
sure.
Okay, thank you.
So this was it. Shallow copy and deep copy, in the sense copying means we are copying one object to the other. Firstly, what we were doing, we just created this. We just created one object here, and we are declaring one more object and copying this object to this one using spread operator. Now what will happen? The values of this, the nested values of this will be copied to this object. Now what we are doing, we are trying to change the value of Russia, change the value to Russia. Which value? Country value, India to Russia. So we would see the output here, this one. As a result, we could find that Russia will be updated here in India because it is a shallow copy. Shallow in the sense the memory at the top level memory is copied, and the rest of the memory addresses will be referenced to the original object. So the value was changing here. But using deep copy, it was not the case. Using deep copy, here we created one object, we are assigning it to another object. Now the whole values will be copied. No, there is no relation between the original object and the copied object. We used this method, structured clone, passing a parameter, that is user. We were passing this here, this is copied here. Now if we are changing the value to Delhi, then this India will not be changed because they both are now not interconnected with the referenced address of the memories. So that's the reason here it was not copied. The updated value is not altered in the original one. Here in shallow copy it was altered. This was the quick uh, info of that shallow and deep copy. Another thing was this optional chaining. Optional chaining works, you can imagine it as a chain. We have chains, right? So if it goes to first this, the first element of this chain, then this is the optional chaining operator. It tells that check my right hand side. If you find this, go to the left hand side. So here we were finding this user. We have this user here. Then it is checking if the user is exist. Then it goes to the address. Do we have address inside this? Yes, we have address inside it. It goes here. Now we also have this operator here. Now it will find for state in address. Do we have state in address? No, we don't. So it will simply return undefined. Without using this optional chaining, we could get some error. So using this optional chaining method, the program will not clash. We will get simple undefined. Understood? I hope this quick revision you understood,
Yes, ma'am.
right?
Yes.
Now let's move with our topics. Modules. Um, did you complete these modules? Yes. Modules in JavaScript. Did Fatima
Not
explain you? No. So modules in JavaScript, they are mainly a group of code, a group of statements, a program. See here, we have some statements right here. What we can do, if I want, let us say if I want to perform addition operation of all the grades of my class students. If I have multiples, let's go to paint. What we'll do here, I want to perform a plus b. This is my operation. I want to perform it for many number of students. These are my students. Some tall, some small. These all are my students. Now if I want to perform this a plus b operation for one student, I'll use this. I'll write the code console a plus b. It will be performed here. I will get the result. If I want to do the same with this, I will do this. But I can do that if I have some limited children, right? If I have some limited 10 to 20 children, we can do that. But what if I have to perform sum, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and then finding the percentage of the result, then finding CGPA, SGPA. If I have all these operations, multiple operations to be performed on a single child, on each child of the class, then I can't write same code multiple times for everyone. So what I will do, I will write this code once. I will pack it and I will save it in some other file. Now, if a student comes with the result, what I will do, I'll just use this module. Hey, I will not perform each and every operation for you. I have already written my code here. I will simply import that code. I will I will take this student 1. I will say student 1. I will import this code and I will get the result. Now for second one also, what I will do? For second one also, I will take this rule number. I will import this same module. Everything will be performed. I will get the result. For third, same. Now, what did you realize here? What did you realize? What is the advantage now? What you came to know from this? What I am doing?
we are
I am using the same code many times. I'm what are the advantages here? You can see I'm saving my time. I'm saving my energy to write the code. I'm saving uh, charging of my laptop. Many things are saved, right? So this is the use of these modules. What we will do, we will group these functions. We will group some code into another file, and whenever it is required, we will import that. We'll import that and we will use these variables, these functions, whatever we have here, we will use that here with this. Understood? The concept of modules?
yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So now,
What will be there in that A plus B? That's all. Just the operation of A is one subject, B is one subject for the first student. So it will have A and B plus. That's
yeah,
all
it
will
will
be there
have A
in one
and
code,
B.
is it?
It will have functionalities. See, yesterday we used some function right here. This function,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, structured clone. This function we used. So did we define this function here anywhere in our program? Did we define here structured
Yeah,
clone? We did not define, we are just using it. And what
okay, okay.
happened when we are using it? What was happening? This was copying one object to the other object without having the connection of that memory references. Yes?
Yes, that
Then
was
who told?
predefined. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is predefined. Who told this function to perform this task? It means somewhere in the backend, the code for this structured function has been written. So what did we do? We just used it here. It performs the code or the functionality which was written in somewhere else. It was taking it and performing to our object. Yes? See, when I hover over here, what can we say? Function, structured clone. Here it is a function. Now here we have value. Value in the sense which value we are giving. This is the value. Here we can say templates. A template function is defined here. It means we did not give you deep copy here. There they written that some value will be coming here. That is some value is this deep copy. It is written in TypeScript. Here we have any, right? Any in the sense that is written using TypeScript. We can return type. It is a return type of that function. We can learn it about it later. At this point of view, you can get confused now. So this is the value. This value could be any. So now options. Whatever I will give it. Here it will take this that function. What is structured serialized options undefined. If you have this, see here also optional chaining is used. See if the user is giving some value, take that value. If that value is present, then do this task. What is doing? It is doing this. If it's not, then or operator undefined. Tell the user that is undefined. From here we were getting undefined, right? We were getting undefined using this.
Yes, ma'am.
In optional chaining we were getting undefined. This is what here it is written. So this is pre-built function, inbuilt function. Similarly, modules are also uh, same as this. That is written somewhere else. And what we can do, we can create one another file. We can declare that module and we can import that in this code. Understood what is module? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So how can that made be possible? Now here you can see this export keyword. Export in the sense what is happening when wait when we are saying we will have a file here and we are using importing it to perform some other tasks. We were importing this, right? So how come this importing happens now? How importing has happened? It is done using export keyword. If we write a function or a code and at the end if we use export keyword, again this export keyword is defined in the libraries of JavaScript. So that's the reason simply we are using export keyword. Now if we say export and something, it means our interpreter will understand that hey, here I have export keyword in the sense this fellow user might be using this code somewhere else. So I must open the doors of this code. I must open the doors of this code so that the others can access this. So the doors of that code or the file will be opened using export keyword. like this. We can see simple example here. We can create one more file.
I have one question.
Yes,
In that structured clone, the function was a predefined already
yes,
by Java
yes,
developer.
yes,
So here are we understanding that the user can create, the coder can create a new function and keep it in some file and then export it whenever it is required.
yes.
Okay.
We are saying we are trying to implement that by, see, I'll tell the steps. You do it as the assignment. What we have to do here? We have to create one file .js. You can see export.js. We'll write this here. Simply what we have to do, we have to write a function add, what we can give, a comma b, some values we are giving. Now a comma b, if it comes, then console.log, we have to print a plus b. Now we have simply written this function. What we have to do? We have to open the doors of this function. We have to export it. Now it is ready to export from one place to the other place. Now for importing that file, we need to write import here. What this? Like this. Import. What we are importing? Function add. This import add from this function. Import add from which file name? Export.js. Wait. Yeah. In this way, we have to import it. Now, why it is in this color? Because we did not use this add function yet. So, I have done these steps, right? Export it and import it here. You try it once and come with the output. Shall we do that?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, because simply most of the steps has been done here. I've shown this how to do this. Just need to explore it so that you can understand it very well. We can also cover the time in learning other topics. Now, what about scope? I think you have learned scope. Yes? What is the scope of a variable? What is the scope of a function? What is scope? Did you learn that?
Yes, ma'am.
So, may I know what is scope in your terms? What are the types of scopes we have? Yes? Shall we remind it again? Shall we revise
No,
that?
I think we did study, ma'am. We didn't read it in detail. Like.
Sorry?
We studied, at least in my notes, it's not there, ma'am.
Okay, so do you want me to go through it or?
Yes, ma'am. It's better to go through if it's important.
Okay. Scope of the variable in the sense, what we can say, where is that? scope we can imagine as a student, a teacher, and a principal. Okay, this is our school. Now, in this school, in this school we have a staff room, and we have a classroom. Now, we have a student, a teacher, and a principal. Now, here student, here teacher, here principal. Now, what did you understand by this? By this irregular drawing, what did you understand? Just what it portrays in your mind.
It shows a hierarchy, ma'am, one inside another, and there are
Inside
stages.
the stages. And what else? A student, we can consider the walking area, or the accessibility of the area, of the elements. A student in this classroom, I have one chalk piece, I have one board. In this staff room, the teacher have teacher's purse, the teacher's stake, etc., etc. So now, can this student access the things of this teacher? Yes?
No, ma'am.
No. Can teacher access? Can teacher have the access to all over this school? No. Teacher will
No.
have access inside this staff room itself. The limitations of accessibility of the scope for this teacher is within this scope. The limitations for this student is inside this scope. Now our principal is the owner. Now he have access to the entire school. Yes, this is a scope. In programming also, suppose that this is our entire document. Now whatever, so let's take example of variables. If we declare any variable here, let us say let a equal to 20. If we create this variable at the top of the program, then it is a global variable. This variable can be accessed within this. In these two areas, we can access the variable a. Now, if we this is our function. Let's suppose this is one function. And if we create one variable here, b equal to 40, then this b equal to 40, this variable can be accessed only inside this scope. You can't say here console.log b, because we will get an error that b is scope, it has the access to inside this function itself. It is not accessible in this area. Similarly, if we write here one more variable c equal to 5, then this will not be accessed in this block, because first our compiler comes here, our interpreter comes here. It will see a equal to 20. Oh, equal to 20, it is declared at the top of the program. It means it can be accessed through any of the programs in entire program. This variable can be accessed. Now it comes to this function. Now inside this function it will see b equal to 40. B equal to 40, it is declared inside this function. Inside this function it means flower bracket. This is the scope of this variable. This variable can be accessed only this scope. This is global scope. This is local scope. This is global to the program. This variable is local to this function. Similarly, this C is local to this function. This cannot be accessed here. This cannot be accessed here. But this can be accessed anywhere because that is declared globally. Understood? Understood scope?
Yes, ma'am.
Harish, did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now let's check that.
So global variable is declared and other variables are just present there. We don't need to
No. We need to declare that.
everything. Okay.
Yeah, we need.
But it is inside those functions. Yeah.
Yeah, it is inside. Just for the explaining purpose, I did not write entire syntax there. Now let's declare that a equal to 10. Now what is this now? Global variable. What we will do? Function display. What I am writing here? Console.log. What we have to print here inside this? Tell me.
A.
A. Now, can we get the output now?
Yes, ma'am.
At first, let me know, did you learn about functions topic? Yes. Functions in JavaScript. Because without knowing functions in JavaScript, I cannot move with this. Harish?
I will tell you, ma'am, what all we learned.
That is secondary, sir. But just by seeing this, can you remember something that like, did you learn function? What is
No,
function
ma'am.
topic?
No, ma'am.
No?
We were just beginning Java. We were understood what is a variable
Huh.
and the primitive variable, non-primitive, like that. And then else statements, if statements, ternary operator, loops,
Okay.
while loop, for loop, nested loop. Function, it's a block of code. We understood what a function is. And then script.
See, here already covered it seems function declaration, function
Yes, yes.
expression. So did you understand that concept, or shall I brush it up?
Yes, give a small brief, ma'am. We understood we have written function, then console.log, and then displaying them. We wrote
Functions functions are some
some.
tasks. If
mm,
we want to perform any task, then what we will do? We'll make a function so that we need not to write the code again and again. Simply we can use call this function. We can consider an example as what we can say. Give me a real world example where we can use this such a way that something will be called again and again without making the changes.
You can say function sum within bracket x comma y.
No,
No,
I was
no.
asking about real world examples
Oh, real world.
in day to day life where we can imagine functions. If we want to perform any task, then what we will do? We will use that. We can see here.
You can say display hello or display something, some welcome message.
Calculating your salary based on hours. It is saying. It means if same that modules example, right? In
Yes,
module
ma'am.
example, we saw that for doing some task, we were not writing same thing again and again. We were calling, we were using or importing that file so that we can run that, right? Same here as well. For any function, if we want to perform any task, to do not write this code again and again. Without functions, we need to write whole code again and again. So to overcome with this problem, what we will do, we will write single function here and then we will just call this. Call this, he will do the task. So
Import.
in various
Yeah.
programming languages, we have various syntaxes to write functions. Here we have function. And one more thing, did you learn about keywords and identifiers in a programming language? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Your voice is not audible correctly. Could you please repeat?
Yes, ma'am. We learned, ma'am.
So, now tell me what is an identifier and what is a keyword here within this three lines. Can you please tell me what is this? Is it a keyword or an identifier?
And I'm answer. I then keyword.
Keyword. This.
Yes, ma'am. It's an identifier.
What about this?
Function is a keyword.
Keyword. So you understood, I think, right?
Yes, ma'am.
The things
Yes, ma'am.
which are predefined, those are keywords. So in this function declaration, the keyword function is used to declare a function. Function, then followed by an identifier. What is an identifier? A valid name, a valid identifier we need to give. See what I am doing here, I am consoling, I'm printing the value of 8 means displaying. That's the reason I gave the name display here. So function display. We are telling to our interpreter that, hey, create a function with the name display. Then what are these? We can assume these as the two hands of our function with which it can hold something. So within this we can hold some parameters that can be used inside our function to perform the tasks. So these are the parentheses. Now what is this? It is a scope. Here within this scope, it means opening and closing the braces. Inside this, the code for this particular function will be written within these braces. That is function. Now what did we do here? We declared a variable a equal to 10. Now what let uh, what is the difference between this and this? What these two statements say? What do you mean by this and this? What is this? It is a variable declaration. Declaration in the sense we are uh, making our interpreter understand that, hey interpreter, I'm declaring a variable a. Then our interpreter will ask, so what is the value, sir? Then we will say, no, no, I'm not giving the value now. I'm not giving the value now. Just create a memory location for variable a in our memory. I'll give the value later. Now next we have Okay, then we are terminating. We are coming here. And what we are saying here? B equal to 10. In the sense, hey interpreter, create one more memory location for me. Give it the name B and store the value 10. So the temporary, not temporary, the value which we are giving here in this definition of a variable is it is known as literal. It is known as literal because it is the variable b is holding some value. This value is known as literal. This value can be changed according to our code. Understood? What is the difference between these two?
Understood.
Now let's
We are just declaring and reserving a space there as variable A. Another one we are giving a value
yeah.
which is called a literal.
Yes. Now, earlier I just declared a variable, right? A equal a, then colon. Then if I try to access it this here, what output will I get now?
You get 10, ma'am.
10?
Hmm.
Nah, no. Are you sure? Can we get the value now?
We won't get anything now because there is no A only will get. Hmm?
Does this function executes or not? This function will execute or not?
Hmm.
Yes, no. Even see if even I was even giving the value 10. What do you think? Now can we get the output? Yes,
Yes, ma'am. We should get something.
we will not get. You are missing one thing.
Display what? Huh?
We are asking you to
Function.
display A, but
Uh,
uh, this recognize the stressed word here. Function code will be executed
hmm.
only when if the function is called.
Import we should do, ma'am.
So we are not calling the function. We are only declaring a function.
Correct, ma'am.
So we need to call that function. How can we call that function? Using the function name followed by curly braces. Now this
Hmm.
is called. Earlier, whatever interpreter will do that, see, think like an interpreter. It will come here, it will assign a variable, it will store the value 10 in that. Then a function will be declared. A function. Then the expression of the function is console.log a. Okay, done. The task of that interpreter is done. It will not display because if we say, hey, display this, then the interpreter will say, hey, you mad fellow, you said that you declared a function, right, but you never told me to call that function. Yes, so we need to call that function, make a call to that function so that it can be displayed. Now, what we are getting? 10. Now, what if I don't give any value here? What can we expect? What can we expect?
Wait, will bring garbage values.
It will print gar. No, it is not Java.
Undefined? Will it return undefined?
Yes, it will give undefined because we just declared a variable, but we did not give value
Uh,
there. So with I am not getting an error, but in other programming language, if I do this same, then I could get an error that this value is not defined. Now,
I have a question, ma'am. Why we are not writing export along with the function earlier? We don't
yes,
need here.
here, see here in this file itself, I am writing the code. I don't
That's
need
all.
this. I don't need this code in my other files, in my other programs. I don't need to use this.
Okay, okay.
If I am supposed to use, then I will use export. But in the sense you can imagine, it will open the doors of that file so that other files can access it. Now I
So,
don't want it to access.
so first time when we write this, if we include export and keep it, anytime we can use it, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, we can. Now we got undefined. Understood what is happening here? So How did we get that? Here we declared a global variable. Now inside this function we are able to access this value because it is a global variable, it can be accessed here. Now let us create one more variable. Let b equal to 20. Now it is done, right? Now what I will do, I will console it. Console.log inside function. Within the function I am printing the value. Right? Till now you got it, right? Now let's see the output. First undefined for this because we did not declare any value. The next inside function 20, this 20 has been displayed over here. Now let's try to access this b variable outside this function. This is the scope of this function, right? Let's access this here. Console.log
B.
outside the function, comma b.
It will show undefined only, ma'am.
Sorry,
It will show undefined only.
that is the concept of
Scope.
scopes. Not undefined. We got error. Why error?
Okay.
Function b. This b is not accessible. The b is not defined.
Okay, ma'am.
Why we did not get undefined now? Why we got this error?
Actually, it was not missing. Maybe it was not at all defined earlier.
Yeah. See, undefined we used to get if the declaration present, if we have declaration but not the value, then
Hmm.
the interpreter will say that okay, I'll give a chance you are accessing a variable, it doesn't store any value, but you already said me no to declare a variable, so I declared a memory, I will give simply undefined. Now what we are doing, printing b, we are saying print b from here. The interpreter says, hey, how can you access it? It was scoped here itself. I created the memory, I have printed it, and I have removed the space of that b. Now this b doesn't exist out of this function, and you are trying to access it even though you did not ask me to declare any space for that b. So how can I give you? I will give you an error. That's how we are getting an error here. We are not getting undefined. Understood?
Yes,
Scope
ma'am.
of this. Now similarly,
Yes,
if we
ma'am.
try to access this b inside another function, then there also it will not display. Now we have this function display. Now let's try to add one more function inside this function. Um, what we can give inside display. We are making one more function. Now let's try to access that b inside. This is a nested function, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you think? Can we get that b value here?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, you're forgetting something.
What, ma'am?
I have declared a function, but I
Some
never
function is not
called that.
called.
Yeah, I need to call that function.
Correct.
So let's call.
Display.
So let's see what we will get now. Again error. Why error? This one. See. First undefined for this undefined, then inside nested function. What is the value of b? This. Why we are getting this inside this? Because this b lasts until this scope and this scope. So within this scope, within this up to here, we can access this b value. So this function, where we have this function inside this scope itself, right? That's the reason we are able to access it. And again, if we make another function inside this function, inside display function, we will be able to access this because this function, this variable is inside this scope. So wherever we can access in this variable will be accessed. Understood?
Now, B is global to both the functions.
Yeah, this is global to these functions now, whatever we make here.
Okay.
Now, what if I declare one variable here? Let c equal to 30. I'm declaring one variable here, right? Now I am accessing that variable here.
It will give error, man.
Yeah, error. Why?
Because it is not introduced to C while interpreting one by one.
It is not introduced to C because this variable is valid inside this function itself. It will not cross its boundaries to this scope. Only inside this scope, this flower braces, this is valid. We cannot access it outside this. Understood the hierarchy?
Yes, ma'am.
That is the scope of that variables. Where your variables and functions are accessible in your code. We just saw how it is accessible. We
Yes,
can
ma'am.
think it of a visibility area in the sense where, how, and where up to which area that variable will be accessible or visible to the interpreter. Is that three kinds of global scope, local scope, which we saw here, block scope, that is also similar to that. Global scope, see global. Upon this, we will write some variable. This variable is written upon every function, that is same. Now local in the sense within this function it is accessible. Now blocks means within this curly braces, that is a block. So within this curly braces that will be accessed, that is block scope. What is the note here? If you use where, it ignores block scope, old JavaScript behavior. What it says, even, see, if this is a block scope, we are saying if it is true, some value is true, then declaring a variable Hyderabad, and we are accessing it this outside this block, then it is saying it is accessible because it is done using where keyword, not using let keyword. Let keyword is far better because according to today's programming structures and the use of the programs is too high and too, it is used in very large software applications there, that this where may give errors, bugs, but that let it won't give. So we are using let now, not where. So if we use where keyword, then it will override that. What will give outside the block also, it will give the value. Understood?
Okay.
lexical scope. That is lexical scope. We saw it here in nested one, right? Nested. Within this function we wrote. Yes, that is lexical scope it is talking about. Means inner functions can access variables defined in their parent function. Here we were able to access this B inside this display function right here. That is lexical scope. It means you can access the variables of the parent function. That scope, as you said, that is global to that scope. That is lexical scope. Now we have closures and all topics. We can continue with that in our next class. Yes, shall we?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let's stop.